see boxing as a whole in 2024?
I think it was good, man. I think starting with our team first, with Team Rios, I think we did well. You know what I'm saying? We took a rematch. You know, we didn't get the win, but we learned a lot from it. We was able to finish the year off with a good fighter. Thought we did very well. You know, kind of just put us in a good position to get ready for next year. But you know, now it's time to take that next step. Come next year, you know, we gotta move. You know, I don't think we only fought. What did we fight, like 3 times? Twice, yeah. This year, well, you know, he was injured too. He was injured. I think one of them he got caught COVID, I think. So you know, some of those kind of derailed us too. So we didn't get as much as we wanted in this year. Nah, I think it was 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, you got Paul Marcelo.
Yeah, so it's 3. We got 3 in. So no, well, it wasn't bad, but you know, ideally you want 4. But overall, you know, we learned a lot of things in there, and that's what boxing's all about, man. Is learning. You know what I'm saying? You take some wins, you take some losses, but you gotta keep putting it together.
If you was gonna give Coach of the Year to somebody in the area, who would you give it to?
If you know, there's a guy.
We're just talking Central
Yeah, if you're
Florida,
talking
you know,
Central Florida, I mean, you got Coach Dewell. They did a good job with Vargas this year. They handled business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Vargas had 2 tough fights this year too.
They did, man, and they did.
Got off the
canvas.
both of them.
The last one
he finished both of them getting off the canvas.
And mind you, they were both against. You know, Jonathan was a big puncher. And he was coming up in the big 7-5.
Winston, he ranked like number 3, number 4.
So I mean, if you're looking at that, I mean, I definitely would say Coach Dewell and Willie and them over at Harvard Warriors. Shout out to them. You know, Vargas, Team Vargas. I think they did an amazing job. I guess I'd kind of be torn between them and Marksman.
Right, because I thought I gave it to Angus.
Shout out to Marksman Boxing Academy.
Man, you know, I thought, you know, he had some good wins. He got Corey in the big stage. You know, he got Corey on that.
And that's the thing where people might debate. You know what I'm saying? I think people are debating saying, well, you know, you had them here, but
Jackson wasn't 2 good fights. He had Jackson in 2 of them.
If you go look at what Corey did, you know, he had two tough fights with Benny.
He's went undefeated. Marksman went undefeated this year. It's his team, you know, his team that, you know.
Well, they took the draw and then they came back.
Right.
But then when they did the second fight, they did it on a very big stage. And if we're talking about the stages and the type of people in the audience, I think there was like, what, 17,000 in that stadium?
Yeah, no, listen, so, and he came in out and performed the big lights, you know, big lights and the scared kid, you know. Yeah. He was there for the moment, man.
I'm gonna say, man, it's a toss-up between them two. I think because, you know, even though the stage wasn't as big on for Dewell and them, but I do think they fought 2 tough guys. You know, Corey did fight Benny twice, so, and then, you know, they won. They beat Jova, so you know, that was a good fight too. So, I mean. It's a preference.
I think, man, you know, I just give it on to Angus and them. I think because, you know, he just went undefeated. You know, all his guys.
Yeah.
All his guys.
Well, and the thing is too, he did it with 2 fighters.
No, 3, because he had the one that beat your kid.
Oh yeah.
That was a good.
Yeah. He caught that. You know. But yeah, absolutely. But no, he did. So I mean,
you know, that's victories.
I wouldn't have a problem with Angus and them definitely doing. I think you got to give some credit when credit's due. It's hard to train a lot of fighters. You know, sometimes you got everybody pulling in different directions. Each guy's different. A lot of guys think it's fun to have a bunch of fighters, but it's not. It's like having a bunch of kids. And to be honest, if you don't have more than one coach, it's tough, especially training a bunch of pro fighters. You know what I mean? They're all different styles. So, you know, the ones that do have a bunch, you know, shout out to them because it's tough.
What about
listen, man, I think there's good and bad with him, but I think what he brings to the table is what everybody wants, is money. I think the biggest thing why these fights...
He gave us some good fights this year.
But I think a lot of the reason, too, why these fights don't happen is because of money. Not everybody's making what they want to make. But, you know, we got to understand what level that is, though, too, now. You know, there's the level we're all at. You know,
right,
and then there's that level.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Those are 2 different levels of money negotiating and shit like that. But I I think you know, him bringing. I heard he bought some shares on Danza, so now he got top ranked to Danza. So now
everybody's on the same side of the street
you
now.
got MVP, you got Metro,
BBC's the only one
you got top rank now, you got Golden Boy, and then you got what's the other one? What is it? Queensbury or something like that. So now you get PBC over there, man. You talking about some big fights? Because now they ain't got to worry about splitting on the networks and who's holding who. Now it's all one network, which means the pie is bigger for everybody.
Right, and everybody, you know, the fights can get made now. You know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like I think 2024 we were good. I mean, if we're talking on that stage, I think we got hit with some real good fights. You know, I think we saw some good fights.
What was your favorite out of all of them?
What was this year?
I like the Crawford fight. I like that Crawford fight.
I like that too.
And I like that Virgil Ortiz and
that was a good fight.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, because Tank didn't do nothing this year, right? Tank
beat up Frank Martin.
Yeah, I mean it was an all right fight. I mean, he did what he did with what it was, but I mean if we're talking about
my thing is I seen somebody have him ranked at I seen a pound for pound list earlier. I was blown away. Somebody had him third on that pound for pound list, and I was like, but they had UC at 15. That was my problem.
I mean, listen, the pound for pound stuff is always
it's subjective. It's always
going to be a preference.
But
it's going to be a preference list. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like this: the pound for pound to me is going to be what you like and who you want to rank. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it can be truly what it is, because if you're really going to go off,
I see a lot of guys that be like, "Oh, you can't put them heavyweights in them pound for pound."
Why not? Well, I mean, they got to go out there and fight. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people get construed too is the last 2 years now being undisputed is more heard of than what it was back in the day. Back in the day, you weren't getting undisputed.
Right.
You weren't working like that. Because technically, if you think about it, Floyd, De La Hoya, a lot of these, Roy Jones, a lot of these guys could have done that if it would have been that way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Now it is that way, which you get in the Crawford, you get Canelo, you get in the girls, you know, you getting them doing it.
Them girls showed out this year.
Oh man, let's talk about that.
Man,
you want to talk about who put on for boxing this year?
Man.
You definitely gonna say.
Oh, it's got to be Amanda. Hey, listen, Amanda, Clarissa, Taylor, Baumgartner. Yeah, man, them girls, they showed out.
The girl overall.
HHD, what's her name?
The girls overall
man, they
boxing.
Out,
the girls overall boxing, I think, stepped to a new platform. I mean, starting from last year to this year, they've been rolling the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I think we just had this debate the other day. Who's the go-to boxing right now?
The female.
Yes.
Oh, it's Amanda. It's got to be Amanda until Amanda leaves.
Okay, now let me ask you this question. This is gonna make a good debate, and I think everybody will make it a good debate, because if you're going with Serrano because of she's been in the game, she's been dominating the game for a long time,
and she's still on the high level.
And she's still at a high level, but she is also on the decline as well.
Oh, right? That's right. Well, that's why I'm saying that. But that's why I said
now,
until she leaves the game, Amanda got about to fight her.
But when you look at it though, Caressa, what Caressa Shields has done is on a whole nother level.
Definitely.
The intangibles.
My thing is, I don't understand why the girl gets so much hate, and it's weird. That's weird.
It's like, listen, man, it's like everything, bro. Anybody that's great, everybody always wants to hate on that person. You go from Floyd to Canelo to LeBron to all these athletes that are great, everybody hates on them. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, it's not wrong what you're saying as far as, you know, a man has been on top for so long and has dominated consistently, right? You look at Caressa's been dominating as well, but Amanda's been in the game longer, right?
Well, that's why I said, you know, Amanda, right? You know, as soon as Amanda walks out that door, the crown is gonna be.
But now if you're gonna use it in that same sense, right?
But either way, either you know, you can't go wrong.
No, you can't go wrong. But if you're using it in that sense, that's why when I look at pound for pound, that's why I say Canelo, because for me, it's the consistency of years of dominating. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, yes, he didn't fight the Benavidez fight that we want to see. But mind you, look what he's been doing for the last, since he's lost to Floyd, right? That impeccable run of what it's been up until this point, That's why I have Canelo for me as a pound for pound, because he's still being dominant. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So the same way you look at Amanda would be the same way, right? But then to me, who's next after Canelo on my list? I'm gonna say Bud. You know what I'm saying? Bud's been, listen, man, he's been stopping everybody. You know what I'm saying? Then he finally goes up to 154. He gets in there with a guy whose style is, I think, would be difficult for anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that herky-jerky stance, the feinting constantly. You got to be smart. And I think that's what people take for granted in boxing is the IQ and the patience. That had to be somebody that had patience with that guy. Because all it took is you would jump in at the wrong time.
He would have ended up like Tim Tszyu.
You got caught in that. You know what I'm saying? What
about Tim Tszyu, man? How do you see him?
I think guys, you know why guys like that, man? Yeah, but you know what guys like that, you know what the difference from somebody like that is, man? It's never been about.
They just want to go there and fight. Though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that reminds me of like a Rios, like Alex. They can go in and lose, but the world's not over, and they're gonna come back. Tim Tszyu reminds me of that. You know what I'm saying? He's got that. He just got that grit where he lost, it didn't go his way, but now I do feel the cockiness and maybe the arrogance of himself is what allowed him in that fight to not do well, because he didn't respect them and he kept going back in the paint. At that level, you have to be smarter. You know what I'm saying? You got to give your team and yourself a chance to still win that fight. When you got dropped, you went right back in the paint. You know what I'm saying? And to me, he just didn't have that respect for that guy, and that guy made him be like, yo, you're going to respect him. And look what the outcome was. You know what I mean? But either way, I think he'll have a bounce. I think he'll be fine bouncing back.
No, I thought it was shaky. I thought it was Sheiky Foster. I thought that.
He got robbed, man.
Listen, right? You can't call close fights robberies, man. You
No,
guys gotta stop that in 2025.
No.
In 2025, y'all gotta stop calling close fights robberies.
Yes, but that first fight was not close. This is the problem with boxing, right? Boxing is to hit, not get hit, and move, right?
Right.
It can't be judged by, he started the fight good or he started slow but he ended fast. Like boxing's not judged.
Right.
It's judged by each round.
Individual,
and if you watch that fight, Foster dominant. Now, you want to talk about the second fight? The second fight to me was the fight that was close.
Think so?
Yeah, because I think he was getting touched a lot more. He wasn't in his rhythm a lot more. He looked like he struggled a little bit more. The first fight, he was getting off. He was in a very good boxing rhythm. You gotta remember, man, people don't understand when you do a rematch, now that guy has time to study that first fight. So now when you come back to that second fight, what's his name? The Brazilian made that adjustment, and now it's up to Foster to make the next adjustment. You know what I'm saying? That's similar to the fight we had with Benny. When you fight each other once, and then you come back for a rematch. Remember, you got 2 months.
Tony adjusted well that night.
You got 2 months to figure out, okay, what does this guy do well? Okay, well, he likes to throw the power. He likes to be the bull. He has to sit down and throw them shots. Well, let me go ahead and just in and out a little bit. Let me just step around a little bit, and there's the adjustment. Now, the next adjustment's got to be for us to make that adjustment. We need to make the adjustment, right? So when you look at that in these fights, when they fight rematches, it's gonna show who makes that adjustment. You look at Benny and Corey. You know what I'm saying? Benny and Corey fought that first fight. The adjustment was Corey had to stay on that outside a little bit more.
Keep moving.
Stay to your game plan, right? Benny had to be the bull, which he didn't be the bull in that fight. He tried to box the boxer. You know what I'm saying? So now the adjustments. Notice when Benny made the adjustment, he made the adjustment too late. Now let me go be the bull. You know what I'm saying? The part that separated the fight was Corey was able to stay disciplined and go back to what he was doing that went well for the first couple rounds. You know what I mean? But that's what makes boxing, man. That's what makes it so beautiful is who can make the adjustment. In these fights, when it goes 8, 10, and 12, bro, you have to be able to make adjustments. If you can't make adjustments, you ain't gonna win. I don't give a damn how much talent you got. You got to be able to adjust with who you're in there with. You know what I'm saying?
What about?
But to piggyback off that, Listen, man. We have to give a lot of respect to this young man, and I don't think it's not out there enough.
True.
And we got to make sure we air this and say it. Look, man, there's a lot of kids out here, and I'm just gonna speak in Central Florida. We can't really talk about down south because we ain't down there, but you want to talk about a young kid that cowboy. Can we curse? We can curse, right? You want to talk about a kid that cowboy the fuck up? Man, you got Benny. Listen,
is that a Dallas Cowboys?
No, it's just
Okay, I'm about to say
when they say cowboy the fuck up. But listen, man, you gotta give Benny Aguilar a fucking. Listen. You want to talk about somebody that got some balls? Think about this, bro.
He took everything.
He fought. And listen, and this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the boxing world. We all got to give each other some more respect and some more gratitude. People got to understand when you get into this ring, it can be a war up until the fight. When you get in here,
he went on a little run.
What you think about it? He fought Alex on a big stage. Remember, we fought.
Right.
And that was a history thing too. We fought on Serrano's undercard of the first 3-minute round. You know what I'm saying? And he fought there. Turned around and then fought Corey again, right? Another tough fight. Went to a draw, right? Then turned around and fought Alex again in an 8-round tough fight. Then turned around and went and fought Corey again on another big stage.
Oh, and that was all this all in 10 months? Within 10 months?
Like, bro, listen. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Benny, listen, man. You showed a lot of heart, a lot of, you remind us exactly of what Alex is. You guys are going to line up anytime you're going to step in this ring. And what's my favorite saying? When you come fight Alex, you better pack your fucking lunch. And that's the same thing with Benny, man. I don't think enough shout out has been given to him because
he doesn't get the credit.
He doesn't get the credit or the respect.
Kids get around
because when you talk about the fights they took, the fights that he took, you gotta respect that. I don't think there's anybody else in the area that's fought that type of. No. What I'm saying is local wise. Back to back.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of guys would have said after Alex fight, oh, let's go get another warm up. No, bro. When they went from Alex, we were supposed to do a rematch, but Alex got COVID. So then Corey came in. Right? Then they fought. Then we lined up the rematch with us again, and then they fought. Then they lined up the rematch again with Benny or with Corey, and they fought. Bro, that's a hell of a run. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at that, man. That's a tough run from anybody, and whether it's local or not, those are tough fights back to back for anybody to go fight.
Facts.
And you got to give it up to Corey as well. Corey went in there, strapped up his boots, did his thing, and I think going into 2025, I think a lot of guys need to sit around and look at what these three young men did. You know what I mean? These three young guys said,
you got to throw. When you do that, you got to throw in kids like Valley and them.
Oh, absolutely.
They fighting on that pro box.
We can't forget about pro box. Look, man.
They matching them. They matching the kids up good over there. They matching them up.
I can tell you this, man. Knowing Valley, knowing some other guys. Listen, don't get this mistaken and disrespected at all. There's guys across this area that ain't scared to fight anybody. You know what I mean? We've been in there and sparred Valley. We've been in and sparred all them guys. You know what I mean? And not for no mistake. You know, I think everybody's willing to fight. We just got to see it. You know what I mean? I think these are all fighters. You know what I'm saying? And if you ask a fighter who you want to fight, they're going to say, I want to fight the best. I don't think it's so much fighters sometimes. I think it's the people on the outside.
Well, that was going to be my next. Is it more the team than the fighter?
Yes. No, most definitely. As I've been in the game and learned, it's always.
But when you say team, is it the coaches or is it outside of the coaches' hands? That's my question, I guess.
Well, I don't want to say it's outside of the coaches' hands because the coaches, listen, I'm a coach, so I might be biased, but I don't think it's biased because...
Not you, Joey.
No, I ain't true. I always keep it a buck. But no, I would say coaches, we're ahead of the train. We're the ones that know what these guys can do and what they're capable of. There's no promoter, there's no manager. None of them are in here every day, all day, 6 days a week, 2 times a day, putting in the work like coaches. we know what they're capable of doing. We know, A, he ain't ready for that, or A, he is ready for that. So I'm gonna say it's more so for me on the outside of managers and promoters, because coaches are gonna know what type of dog they got, or they want to see what type of dog they got. And I think in this, that 10 fight range area, 7 to 10, I think that's when you got to see who you got in the corner. But I'm gonna go with the promoters and managers of why fights don't happen. And I would say some coaches care about the O, and they want to stay they want that fake perception of hype. You know what I mean? Like we're better than what we really are.
There's a lot of money around here, tickets. I'm saying amongst you put good fights on, like you pack these places up.
Yeah, but the problem is, man, I'm gonna say it like this. I think it ain't even the problem is everybody's scared to lose. But here's the thing. You ain't start boxing because of the money, number one. Ain't no trainer and coach started because of the money. There ain't no let me tell y'all, there ain't no money in this shit when you start, and you damn sure might not even get to that money ever. You know what I'm saying? But here's the reality. If you got into this game thinking you were gonna get rich, or you're gonna make money fast, or your O's gonna be kept, that shit ain't reality. It's not reality. You have to be willing to either lose or win, because that's the only outcome that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And people want to build it so much, and they get to that point of, we won 15 fights. Okay, but who's challenged you in those 15 fights? People are scared to lose. That's why they don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? You can't be scared to lose, man. You signed up for this shit. You need to get ready to lock in and go do it.
I always say you gotta be the best in your state before leaving.
Listen, look, man.
What you gotta do personally, that's black. You know what? But I'm not in it. Listen, right? Again, I'm just a fan. You know what I'm saying? I know this. I know this is a business. At the end of the day, I know it's a business. Yeah,
but it's a business. But this is the shit that I get in arguments about. You know what I'm saying? With my boys, it ain't nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? We just get in them debates. There's this level, and then there's the next level. You know what I'm saying?
You get right. That's what I'm saying. You got to conquer this level.
And you have to
conquer this level.
You have to give to make. And look, that ain't just in boxing, bro. That shit is in life in general.
I still think
if you want to be something, you got to take a risk. Look, I own my own company. If you want to go be big, you got to take a risk, right? It's the same thing with fighting, bro. If you want to roll the dice, who's the best person to roll it on? Yourself, right? And that's what it comes down to. I think a lot of people want to play, I'm worth this, I'm worth that. Worth what? What have we done as a collective? You know what I'm saying? Unless you came up in the big amateur background, you've been to the Olympics, you've done these things, then you can sit there and be like, hey, I'm up here on this sense because I've been here. You know what I'm saying? But when you're
coming out the amateurs right now, the only person coming out right now that can say that is Bangaden.
Amari,
right?
Absolutely. I mean, he went to that journey. You know what I'm saying? And now that doesn't discredit other amateur fighters.
Correct.
But I'm just saying that we're all in that same realm. You know what I'm saying? Look, we all know who top amateurs that come out. You hear about them. You're in the gyms. You know, oh man, hey, that young amateur is going to be great. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is this, man. You got to fight somebody that makes you have to bring something out of you to get better. That's the goal that me and Rashad came up with for Alex. We had to understand, like, somebody else has to make greatness come out of you. So two things are going to happen. Either it's never a loss. You're going to learn and you're going to grow. So another great fighter is going to make your fighter do something that you haven't seen, or do we need to fix something? You know what I'm saying? And that's the reality, is that people are scared to lose. You know what I'm saying? This is boxing. You're going to lose. You're going to win.
That's why people like MMA then?
No, I wish the fans were like MMA.
No, right. I was just about to say.
You can lose 10 times and still be a star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody should be shitting on because you lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man.
So there's a victory itself, getting in here with them, getting your head.
Look, I honestly think we could have done the same thing with Alex. We could have took him and made him 15-0, and oh my goodness. But was there any challenge? Was there something to make him fix something? Was there something we're going to see? You know, Maze Boxing and me, you know, we looked at it and said, like, yo, we need to see what we need to fix now. We got to see do we have a dog, one, and is he capable of going to that war, two, and what are the things we need to fix? Because the only way you're going to fix them is what? Fighting better people that bring the bad things out and say, oh, we need to do this better, and that better. In order to get to that next step, we got to be able to hit these spots. Right. If we don't fix these, you ain't never gonna get to that place, right? So now you can go 20-0, and then get on that stage and you ain't shit.
Shit the bed.
Shit the bed. You get hurt. You get destroyed. And, you know,
confidence gone.
Confidence is gone. To me personally, I'd rather take a minimal risk and gamble on yourself and see what you got. You know what I'm saying? And you know, take a risk. You know what I mean? If I want people to know me, I got to get in and show people about me. I think that's what Alex did was great. You know what I mean? I think he went in the ring and he was able to show people, look, this is who I am. You know, win, lose, or draw, I'm going to show respect. I'm going to show honor. I'm going to be humbled. You know what I mean? Win, lose, or draw. Every time when he lost, you saw him doing what? Holding another fighter's hand up, giving the respect. I didn't do my job. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what we need to see more of.
He's too emotional for me.
It's emotional, and everybody wants this.
They want to be cradled, right?
They want that shit handed to you.
They want to spoon fed it, right? They
want to hand to you. Oh, I want this X amount of dollars. Man, get in the ring, fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we ain't saying not to make money, right? Promoters shouldn't have to make all the money and the fighters get paid shit. We're not saying that. But at this level, man, go fight. Because if you do well and you look good against a tougher opponent, what do you think is going to happen? That phone's going to be ringing, right? The phone's going to be ringing. You know what I'm saying? So either you fight and you show what you're capable of doing, and then guess what? Everybody's not going to get to the top. That's just the reality. I don't think a lot of teams realize that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they
grasp that situation.
I don't think they understand that, bro. There's only 4 belts in the world. We're not talking about all that. We ain't talking about all those bullshit.
Yeah, they all be held.
We ain't talking about all that bullshit. We talking about there's only 4 real belts, bro. Not all that other super interim waiting in line bullshit. That's all for money. We know how that bullshit is, all right? If you ain't got the main belt, you can't walk around saying you're a world champion. Yes.